Hey everyone, it's Al Lincolnson here from Overson Golf Club and welcome to another episode of the Friday Fix. So today we're going to be down in the teaching room and we're just going to be talking you through and doing a little bit of product review on the new Callaway Rogue range of irons. So we've got the Rogue Pro, the Rogue iron and the Rogue X iron to review and test. Hope you enjoy. Okay, so to start with, I'm just going to have a few shots with my own irons, which is the Titleist forged CB irons there. Just got the 7 iron out, just going to have a few shots, see what the distances are showing. Okay, so a few shots there with my own 7 iron, the Titleist CB forged clubs. Average carry showing on the GC2 launch monitor is 165, which is about right for my 7 iron. Quite a soft feel off the face with them being forged as well. But we're now going to try out the Callaway Rogue Pro irons. Okay, so I'm now just going to have a few shots with the Callaway Rogue Pro irons. It's the smallest head of the bunch, so a little less forgiving. So they do suit your low to mid handicapper range. It's a cast iron head, so we'll expect to see some pretty long distances with these. Just have a look at the GC2 data from the Rogue Pro irons and quite a big distance increase, so they're definitely fast off the face. They launch high and the spin is quite low, so the average carry went from my own, which is 165, to 182 is the average carry with the Rogue Pro iron. Okay, so now we're going to have a few shots with the Rogue iron. This is the sort of standard head model that they do within this range. It's got quite a large head, big cavity, so it really is forgiving. Idea of this is to launch the ball high and have good long distance, but your off-centre hits are going to be, a lot better. So we'll have a few shots and see how it goes. Okay, so the GC2 data on the Rogue irons is pretty much the same as the Rogue Pro. So the average carry is 182. It's the same as the Rogue Pro. If anything, the launch angle was a little bit higher on them and the ball flight a little bit higher too on these Rogue irons. Definitely feels, with the size of the head that, you're not going to struggle with any miss hits with these. So I've now got the Rogue X iron that we're going to test out and try. This is the one that's probably got the biggest cavity, it's a much larger head and there's a little bit more offset on the face of this one. So if it is forgiveness and distance that you're looking for out of a set, then definitely the Rogue X is something to consider. But we'll have a few shots and see how they go. Okay, so the Rogue X irons definitely went a bit further, certainly had a much thicker top line and a larger head look at setup. But the average carry distance has now gone up to 189. So that's 182 with the Rogue Pro, 182 with the Rogue Standard, 189 with the Rogue X. So they are a long club, really forgiving as well. Okay, so having tested the 3 Callaway irons there, the Rogue Pro, Standard Rogue and the Rogue X, my personal preference would be the Rogue Pro because of the head size. It's a little bit smaller. The Rogue and the Rogue X looked a little bit thick and a little bit larger on the head for my personal preference, but it depends what you want out of the game. If it's forgiveness that you're after, then definitely the Rogue or the Rogue X are a great option. If it's good distance but a little bit forgiveness and a bit of workability, for the lower handicappers, the Rogue Pro a really good set to look at as well. We do all the custom fitting down here with the GC2 launch monitor, and we've got plenty of other shaft options available in the Callaway Rogue range. They're all at a really sort of good price as well, so definitely well worth a look at, well worth a try. If you would like to book a fitting session in, give us a call and we'll get you sorted out and just see what improvements there are to be made. We're now going to do tip of the week on chipping. So for this week's tip of the week, we're going to focus a little bit on chipping. We're going to give you a couple of really important and good ways to help improve the strike on your chip shots. Get a lot of people down here for short game lessons, and you know, quite often you see a lot of people hitting the shots either a little bit heavy or thin, and a lot of it just comes down to setup. Okay, so the first thing we're going to look at is the ball position. We want to make sure that the ball gets positioned definitely in the centre of the stance, or even a little bit more towards the right foot. Another thing a lot of people do when they do this, they position weight into the right foot, and the only problem with doing that is it brings your body behind the ball and it creates a swing arc that's going to be too shallow, and it's going to hit the ground early or hit the ball on the upswing, hence why you might hit it a little bit heavy or a little bit thin. So two really good setup changes you can make there. Placing the ball more in the centre of the stance, or if anything a little bit further towards the right foot, but then try and get about 70% of weight onto your left foot and maintain that throughout the stroke. That'll get your body ahead of the ball, and then all we're doing then is just putting a nice steady back and through swing on it, and as you can see there, it's hit the ball first, then the ground. That's how we want to strike these shots, okay? Another good thought for when you are actually hitting the shots, don't quit on it. You see so many people, when they lose confidence, decelerate on the shot. So they take the club back and then they just sort of try and guide it through because they're not very confident, and the downswing actually comes through slower. Whatever shot you play in, make sure it's positive. So you do a smooth backswing, then a good acceleration when you're hitting the ball. So we've got weight on the left foot, ball position further back in the stance, especially when it's wet, and then just really good acceleration then when you are hitting the shot, and you should find then you get some better strikes. When it comes to distance control, it's never how hard you hit it, always go off length of backswing. So a short chip shot is a shorter swing, longer chip shot, longer backswing. That way you'll find more control and hopefully some better chip shots. Hope you've enjoyed this week's video. If you like what you see, hit subscribe. If you've any requests, just email them through or fire them through on the Facebook page. Thanks very much. See you next week.